You still pray. That is the part that does not fit, and it is why nobody knows what to do with you. Your faith did not die. Your attendance did. You talk to God in the car, in the kitchen, at 2 in the morning when the house has gone quiet. You just cannot walk back through those doors. There is a question sitting underneath that, and you have never once let it finish forming. If that was his house, and those were his people, and they told you they were speaking for him, then how much of it was him? Do not rush past that. It deserves the room. You have been living between two bad answers. Either they represented him accurately, and he is the God who did that to you, or they did not, and every certainty handed to you in that building is now suspect, including the ones that were keeping you upright. One answer costs you God, the other costs you the floor. Let it become a sentence tonight. Begin with why it cut the way it did, because you have been called dramatic and you are not. When a stranger wounds you, it is an injury. When it happens inside the place you went to be safe, said in the voice that claims to carry God's, it is something else. They used the words that were supposed to heal you to do it. Now the language itself is contaminated. Somebody says grace and your shoulders come up. Somebody says submission or forgiveness or God is doing something in this, and you brace, because those exact words were once used to keep you quiet. That is not bitterness. That is a burn victim flinching at a stove, and it will not resolve because they did it under his name. They wrapped the injury and the God together and handed it to you as one thing. So pull them apart now, slowly, because this is the whole letter. Look at who Jesus was hardest on. He was gentle with the woman caught in the worst moment of her life. He was patient with doubters, with tax collectors, with a thief dying beside him. The one group he came down on with real fury was the religious leadership. He called them hypocrites to their faces, in public. And listen to what he accused them of. He said they shut the kingdom of heaven in people's faces. Not that they had bad theology, that they stood in the doorway and blocked it. He said they tied up heavy loads and laid them on other people's shoulders and would not lift a finger to help carry them. Somebody laid a load on you and did not help you carry it. He named that sin 2,000 years before it happened to you, and he did not name it gently. Then there is the day he walked into the temple. The outer court was the one part of that building where an outsider could stand. The ones who came from far off, who did not have the pedigree, who wanted to pray anyway, and that court had been turned into a marketplace by people running religion as a business. That is the day the tables went over. He said his house was meant to be a house of prayer for all nations, and they had made it a den of robbers. Sit with what made him that angry. Not the sins of the city outside. The religious system had taken the room where the outsider came to meet God and made it unusable. The exact thing that happened to you is the thing that made him overturn furniture. So here is the sentence you have been avoiding. Finished. He was not on their side of that room. He was the other one being misrepresented. When they used his name to do what they did, they lied about him to you, and they lied about you to everyone else, and he has been objecting to it far longer and far louder than you have. You have carried this as though God and the church were one voice. He never was. Now what nobody will say to you. There is no verse that requires you to go back into a specific building that harmed you. Healing is not measured in attendance. Some women find another table with different people years later. Some do not, and go on loving him anyway. Neither of those is backsliding, and anyone who tells you otherwise is doing the same thing to you that was done before, in the same voice. Take your time. He is not tapping his foot at the door of a building he was never confined to. And this is where the question turns over. You have been asking whether your faith survived in spite of the church. Look again at what you have been doing all this time. Praying in the car, in the kitchen, at 2 in the morning. Nobody made you do that. No building held you in place. No music, nobody watching. Whatever is between you and God was never being held up by that building. That is why it is still standing after the building came down. You are a daughter of the King, not a guest who lost her invitation. A daughter does not need to be readmitted to her father's house, and no one standing in the doorway has ever had the authority to keep her out of it. If you are one of the women still outside the door, say so in the comments. You will find out very quickly how many others are standing out there with you, still praying,